Hello, ladies. Let's talk about coconut oil. Now, remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a nurse, not any of those things. I'm just a granny trying to share what's been working for me on getting fit and fueled at an older age. So, I started using coconut oil probably 10 years ago, and it was recommended to put in shakes for a healthy fat. And I started doing it, and of course, the taste is not the best, I would say, when you're first starting out. However, the more and more I used it, the less I could taste it. And I did research and found out why some of the coconut oil I was buying was higher in the flavor and some wasn't. So we'll get into that, and definitely research yourself. Make sure you're doing this safely and not just because I'm using it. So the first thing I noticed after using coconut oil, and I probably was using it in my shakes for at least a year, and every year, personal here, TMI, I would have to get a colonoscopy because I would always have polyps that would have to be removed. So of course I went for my yearly, and the doctor said, I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up, because I had 0 polyps. 0. I've never had that in my, gosh, I started getting those back in my 30s. So 30 years plus. So I got to schedule my next colonoscopy 2 years out. So that was exciting. So I kept going over in my brain, what have I done? What have I done? And the only thing that I could come across was I started on this health kick. And it wasn't actually a health kick with the protein shakes. I did it for my husband, who needed to get extra calories in. And the only way I could figure out to do that was to make a protein shake with him, and of course throw all kinds of fruits and vegetables in there. And it was just a small one so that he would drink it, but he was getting a lot of nutrients. So since I was making him a shake, I got into NutriBullet, and I'm not getting kickbacks from NutriBullet. That's just the first one that I found, and their cookbook or their protein shake book, and was using that for a while. Weight loss was not happening just by the shake, I will admit to that. And whatever other foods I was eating and trying to diet at the time wasn't working. So the only thing I could relate back to a clean colonoscopy was the coconut oil. Don't know why, don't really care, but it worked. And I went to my next appointment after the 2-year wait. Perfect, 0 polyps, just amazing. And now I'm on the 10-year wait list. So I will continue to use coconut oil in my shakes just because of that. And that's the only thing I can associate it with. And if it's something else, fine. But my mind's telling me it's my coconut oil, so I'm going to keep using it. Now, be careful, because they do say coconut oil can put on weight because of if it's consumed in large amounts. I should say that. If it's consumed in large amounts, it can be a weight gain. And supposedly, if you're not, like, I guess athletes use coconut oil or MCT oils. Actually, there is MCT oil and coconut oil, and athletes use it to help them with their energy. But because they work out so much, it doesn't bother their weight. Now, you know how much I work out, and I do my coconut oil in my shake, and I also use coconut oil lots of other ways too, in cooking, baking, skincare. So it's not enough fats for me that, you know, were my weight problem. I think there was other things associated to my weight problem. So check out coconut oil, see if it's for you. Now, granted, the first time I cooked with it, that was interesting also. So there was a huge flavor that you had to get over. But right now, I can use it on anything and the flavor doesn't bother me. And I think this is why, because, let's see, the refined coconut oil, because when you go to the store, they're like everything else, there's numerous ones to purchase, and it's like, okay, which one do I get? So I did some research. Do your own, please, but this is what I found. The refined coconut has a mild flavor, and you can use it in higher temperatures, I guess for frying, which we don't do. And unrefined, it's processed, but has a coconut flavor and lower smoke point. And it's virgin coconut oil, unrefined, will give you the more power flavor. So I guess if you're starting out, if you don't want that coconut flavor strongly, do the refined. And cold press is no heat use, so that's better for your coconut oil. Coconut oil is a rich source of medium triglycerides, MCTs, a type of saturated fat. We all need fat, the good fat, so that's why it's a good fat. It's 65% MCTs, which has a lot of fat burning properties. So because coconut oil gives us energy, that I think is why it helps with the weight loss. Even though my exercise isn't like a marathon runner or anything like that, I'm still pushing my body, not as hard as a marathon person would, but for my body and my age, I'm pushing it. So that's maybe why it gives me the energy and I'm not worried about the weight gain. Let's see. And it has MCT content, specifically a LAURIC acid. Lauric acid is in the coconut oil, a fatty acid that makes about 50% of the MCTs. So I guess that helps you with increases the feeling of fullness. So I know, when I have my shake, like I said, I can go 4 to 6 hours before my next meal. So no, it's not just coconut oil I'm eating, but with the protein powder and with all of that, that helps with the fullness. Now, I wish I had a picture. I'm sure I can go look for pictures. I got a burn on my arm that was considered a 3rd-degree burn. I probably got it 30 years ago. So one of the other ways I use coconut oil is as lotion. And I started that a few years ago because I saw a podcast from a lady who was explaining how we put all this lotion on our body. Well, it sinks into our skin, to our muscles, joints, all of our bodies. And she was saying how, if you can't eat the lotion, why would you put it on your body, is what I remember from her saying. And it made me think, you know, I use different lotions on my skin, and what's it doing to the inside of my body? I don't know. And so now I use coconut oil, and of course it smells good if you get the unrefined one. It has a higher content of the coconut smell. So anyways, going back, the scar on my arm is gone, and I'm not saying that coconut oil can take away burn scars, old burn scars. I'm just saying that one day I looked down at my arm and it's like, where's my scar? And I cannot answer you where it went, except that who knows if the coconut oil, and I wasn't praying about it. I mean, it was a scar on my arm. It was no big deal to me. The doctors would always ask me about it and stuff, but it was no big deal. And now I don't have that scar. So I'm not promoting to use that, but they do use or recommend or have maternity coconut oil to use on your hips and thighs and stuff when you're pregnant. So that takes away, it's supposed to prevent scars or stretch marks. So who knows? Maybe I picked up a good coconut oil and it worked. I don't know, but I'm still using my coconut oil, and you can try it out yourself. 3 benefits I read from another podcast was it's good for your brain, it gives you energy, which we talked about, and it boosts your HDL. So there's pressed coconut oil, cold pressed coconut oil. The cold pressed coconut oil is the one that has more nutrients in it, because it's not ran through the heat and different machines and that type of thing. So, here's a fun factor. Of course, coconut is a seed, but it's the largest seed on the planet, and it takes 3 years for that seed to break the ground and to start to grow. So I thought that was interesting, that just to start it takes 3 years. And the Philippines is the worldwide producer of coconut oil, and then Indonesia and India are next. So that's where most of our coconut oil comes from. I also read that it's a good mouthwash. Now, haven't tried that yet, but when you read up on it, check that out and see. And it's because of that lauric acid in the coconut oil that supposedly is good for the bad stuff in our mouth. Instead of using mouthwash, which is full of chemicals, you can use coconut oil. So I haven't got into that one yet. So like I said, it's in my shakes, it's on my skin, and I'll be checking out other areas that coconut oil gives us benefits for, because I'm a true believer in this one, and I hope you can check it out yourselves. And if you're already using coconut oil and it's done great things for you, please share with the ladies on the channel. We'd like to hear other ways that you're using it and it works. If you are using it as a mouthwash, I'd like to know if it really is working. I guess I shouldn't be a chicken, since I tried it in my shakes and on my skin and it's been fine. So I guess I should start putting it in my mouth as a mouthwash, because I'm cooking with it. So anyways, ladies, I hope you enjoyed this, and please get back to me and let me know what you think about coconut oil. Are you using it? Have you seen any difference in any part of your body? Has it helped you with your shakes in the morning of keeping you fuller? And of course, you got to experiment and, you know, eliminate things and go back to it and see how it worked out for you. So it worked for me. Hopefully it works for you. Thanks for listening to my little chat on coconut oil.